వెల్కమ్ టు మై ఛానల్. ఇప్పుడు వచ్చేసి మనం ఆండ్రాయిడ్ అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్మెంట్, మొబైల్ అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ సెకండ్ క్లాస్ చూద్దాం. ఫస్ట్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ టు మై ఛానల్ టు సీ ద కంటిన్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ దీస్ లెసన్స్. Mobile application, ethical hacking, Python programming, all lessons are there in my channel. So first class up to creating this virtual device, run an emulator. In the previous class we seen this one in the Android Studio, Android device, we see the output. So now in this class we discuss about the deployed and the USB connected Android device. We can connect the Android device by USB and then we deploy on program. So for this one we can do first configure the Android device. In order to install the application directly to the device, you need to configure it using the USB connection. First configure the device. The configuration settings are varied by device. For Android 4.2 and the later devices, you need the developer options. By opening the settings and then click the build number item 7 times. If you do not know this, you will be not see the developer options in items in the settings. Click on the build number 7 times. So after 7 times you open the settings and click the security, enable the unknown sources, check the option. This permits the device to install the apps that do not originate from Google Play. We have to do this settings security and then enable unknown sources and then back out settings, click the developer options. Here go the developer options and then switch it, enable the USB debugging. In the developer options you have to enable the USB debugging because we can connect using the USB to the device. Enable the USB debugging, that is check this option. This permits the device to install the apps over the USB connection. Next option are here, enable stay awake is option only. Next option is enable the allow mock locations, is that option only, not necessary. Next is back out of and core and close, back out and then close. So next here install the USB driver. So in the Windows only, this one, in the Windows computer operating system, you can use this way. Developers on Windows may install the USB driver on the specific device to manufacturer and model of the device on why they will be testing. This driver enables your Windows computer to communicate with the Android device. Google provides download links to the drivers. This is the drivers link. You have to install the drivers according to the Android operating system. Next, connect the Android device to the computer using the USB cord. So you have to install the drivers by using this link, android developer.oem USB drivers, and then connect the device. After installing the device softwares drivers, installing the Android drivers, and then connect the Android device to computer using the USB cord. Note that some USB cables or only power cables do not allow communication with the device. Make sure that USB cable that allows the data connection. You have to use the USB cable that allows the data connection here. And then for 4.2 Android 4.2 devices, you can use the allow USB debugging. You have to click the allow USB debugging option, and then the dialog will appear. Once connected via USB, click OK button. Click OK button, and then deploy application using the Axway Applicator Studio. We have to deploy the application by using the Axway Applicator Studio. Once you have to configure your device and connect it to the computer USB port, you are ready to deploy your application to it. Here for deploying application, we have to once configure the device and then connect it to your computer USB port. You are ready to deploy your application. Next here for that one we use in Android Studio. First select the project in the project explorer view. Then in the global tool toolbar, select the run from the launch mode drop down list and the Android device from the target drop down list under the Android application installer category. If launch automatically option enabled under the target drop down list, the application will be automatically launched after the device is selected. If not, click run button to start the build process. Your app will be built. Install your device and then automatically launch it. So for this one Android Studio, first we select the project in the Project Explorer. In the Project Explorer, first we select our project and then click run from the launch mode drop down list. And then in the Android application installer category, after launching automatically the target drop down list, the application we have to select the device and then run and start the build process. Application will be built. So here creating the activities. An activity is a single screen in Android. It will take window or frame from the Java. By the help of activity, you can place all your UI components or widgets in a single screen. An activity can be presented in a single screen with the use of interface, just like a window or frame of Java. Android activity is a subclass of context theme wrapper class. So for creating activities, here activity is a single screen in the Android. An Android single screen is called activity. It is like a window or frame of Java. By help of activity, you can place the user interface components and widgets in the single screen. With the activity, we can place the components and widgets in the screen. Activity represents single screen with the user interface just like a Windows or frame of Java. And an activity is a subclass of context theme wrapper class. This Java.Android activity is a subclass of context theme wrapper class. This is a creating activity topic, and then we use the Android activity lifecycle. Here in the Android activity lifecycle, let's see the lifecycle methods of Android activity. For this one, we can use first one activity can be launched, and then first option on create method, and then on start method, and on resume method, and then activity is running. Afterwards, on pause method is there, on pause, and then go to on stop. Here in the on pause method is return to the activity on resume. After pause and then resume is there. If we click the pause, go to resume, and then here also okay. Next is stop on stop. The on stop it will go to on restart. Go to on restart. Here the app process killed. This is also there. If the app process killed at the fast process at the stop process, it will go to on create process. Go to on create process. On pause stage, it go to resume stage. On stop stage, it go to start state. And then after stopping, the activity is finished or being destroyed by the system. And then on destroy, next activity is shut down. This is a flowchart of activity. Android Android activity lifecycle. Activity lifecycle. This one is the lifecycle of activity. The activity on create method, on start method, on resume method, activity running, and then on pause method, on stop method. And this is the activity lifecycle. So this defines the following callbacks or events you do not need to implement. Activity class defines the following callbacks events, and you do not need to implement all callback methods. However, it's important to understand each one of the implement those ensure your app behaves the way the users expect. Next is serial number, callback or description. Here callback, what is callback and description? Methods and description, the activity of activity. On create is nothing but is the first callback and is called as the activity first created. On start nothing but This callback is called as an activity becomes visible to the user. On resume method is called when interacting with the application. This is on resume is interact with the application. On start is visible activity become visible to the user. On create it can be activity first created. On pause nothing but activity is not receive user input and cannot be executed any code and called when the activity is being resumed. This is nothing but on pause, on stop is nothing but a callback is called when activity is no longer visible. It's called as a on stop, on test is nothing but is called before the activity is destroyed by the system. On restart nothing but is called when the activity restart after stopping it. Your next one is I can take the example. This example takes two simple steps, show the Android application lifecycle, follow the steps to modify the Android application, create the Hello World example. Here we will use Android Studio, creating Android application and the name Hello World under the package world example world example. Modify the name activity, main activity, file, main activity.java and explain below and keep rest of the files unchanged. Run the application to launch the Android emulator. Verify the results of changes done in the application. So you can go to this program, Android activity lifecycle. Here write the program for this Android activity. Provides details about the invocation of the lifecycle by the activity. For example, we are displaying the content of the logcat file main activity.java. Here we're creating the file package example.mrc.com.activity lifecycle. Here we package have to include the package and then we have to import these files. This import and android.app.activity this header files. Next import android.waste.bundle. Next android.util.packages util package waste package app package app.activity waste.bundle util.log to import all these packages android packages and then public class main activity extends activity. We have to extend the superclass activity superclass. We have to extend the properties from the superclass activity. These main class, public class, main activity with the class name. Extend from the activity. Here override method is there. Private protected void on create bundle saved instance state. Here we create the on create method. Here we use the bundle saved instance state. Here super on create super dot on create saved instance state and then set content view. These are methods for the Android application. Set content view or dot layout dot activity main. Next log d lifecycle on create invoked. These are the three different methods of Android application. And then next protected void on start. Next on start method in this one super dot on start. The method is called here super dot on create super nothing but method is called in the method only the method class only method block only and then log d dot lifecycle dot unstart invoked the log file you have to invoke this on start invoked on create invoked these are invoked and then called this one next one void on resume super dot on resume log d on resume invoked same all the same methods protected void on pause super dot on pause same log file next void on stop super dot on stop plus log file here void on restart super dot on restart plus log file this way the main activity java program is completed and then this is activity lifecycle program here activity class loads ui components using the xml file available in the layout folder project following the statements of ui components from the layout activity main.xml set content view order layout activity main application use can have one or more activities without any restrictions. Every activity you have defined from the your application must be declared in the Android manifest XML file. All activities can be declared in the Android manifest file, and main activity of your application must be declared in the manifest file with intent filter, and it includes the main action and launcher category as follows. Here we use the XML file activity underscore main dot XML is XML file. This one we use the XML version 1 encoding UTF-8. Next is Android support constant layout. Here we use the constant layout. Android support constant layout and XMLness. Android XMLness Android HTTP schema.android.com.apk res.android. It include these files and then XMLness XML. This is XML program, and then here XMLness app equal to, here we use the website schema android result next tools. Here we use the website schema android.com tools. Next Android we use the layout Android layout.width match.parent layout.head match.parent tools context is this one, and then text view here layout we have to mention the layout high width and height, and then text hello world, print that hello world, and then use the layout. It's all layout for the Android device. Constant bottom to bottom off, constant left to left off, left to left off, top to left off. These are methods for bottom left, all these things. Next one is constant support constant layout, closing of constant layout. This activity main.xml program. So in the next class we discuss about the unit 2 application components and Android manifest files, drawables, layout, menus, building user interfaces, fundamentals of Android UI designs, interface UI components. All this we discuss in the next class. Android application components. So for up to this one, unit 1 is completed. Creating an Android application by using the Android device.